encontramos con Robert Herrera, fundador de The Mill, para explicarnos qué es The Mill y un poquito acerca de su historia, porque como habrán podido darse cuenta, su apellido es terriblemente hispano. Vamos a entrevistarle, a aprender un poco más de él. Hi, Robert. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's awesome.
Tell us a little bit more about you, because where are you from?
I was born and raised in Dover, Delaware. My father's Mexican American, my mother is Irish American, and I was raised in Dover, Delaware, and I've been a Delawarean my whole life, although I moved away to New York for a little bit. I moved back about 4 years ago.
So you are a second generation of Hispanics here?
Second generation, right, exactly.
How was about you? Well, I think it's my understanding that you are architect?
I'm an architect, that's right. I've always wanted to be an architect my whole life. That was always one of my passions. I studied architecture at a school called NJIT. I went there originally for a soccer scholarship and got my architectural degree, and then I worked in New York City for about 7 to 8 years after that.
And as architect, you work around the country?
Yes, definitely around the country, doing different flavors of projects. I joke now I'm a recovering architect, but I really enjoyed my time there when I was working in New York. But I did everything from housing to co-working spaces, which I'll explain with the mill. But I've designed probably around 30 or 40 of these spaces around the country.
From New York to Wilmington.
Yeah.
Why Wilmington? Why the mill?
Well, there was a couple reasons. I had my son in New York. I was married in New York, and raising a kid in New York City is not easy. Working the New York hours is not easy. Stressful lifestyle. I still own property up there now that I bought while I was living there, and I still hold a special place in my heart. But I want to be close to my family, and my mother watches my twins now every day, and my father is very engaged in my kids' life, and I wouldn't get that if I was still living in New York.
So quality of life. Quality of life.
It's phenomenal here, yeah. And I'm always been a Delawarean at heart. I love Delaware.
What's about the mill? How is the impact that this co-working space has made in Wilmington?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, so I started this about 2.5 years ago. It was April of 2016, so almost 3 years. We're approaching 3 years soon. We started off with just a third of the floor, and at that time we had about 45 to 60 members. Today we have 435 members here, and all of them are working in Wilmington, paying taxes in Wilmington, coming here. They're part of the city lifestyle. We're eating lunch around town, and I think that's hard to put a metric on the impact that's had in the city. And the people we're getting are not your stuffy corporate job type guys. It's people that are really engaged in the community, that are doing their new startup or the new business or working for themselves. And they look more like me and less like a corporate environment. So I think we've really impacted the culture of Wilmington a little bit, moving away from a corporate center to a fun, vibrant, sort of cultural center in some ways. That's a big part of our community here.
So I would like to encourage our Hispanic Delawareans too, to reach their dreams, whatever their dreams were.
Yeah. I can't say enough. I mean, there's so many opportunities at this day and age, particularly in Delaware, that if you really set your mind to something here and you go after it, you can do a lot here. And there's a lot to be done. And it's easy to sort of own entities like this. If you ever told me when I was younger that I was going to own a mill and design big buildings and own big buildings, I would say you were crazy. But if you stay on track, you stay focused, you can get a lot done here. It's cool.
So thank you very much. Robert, if you want to add anything else?
I just think, again, stay positive, work hard. I can't stress enough how important education is. My parents always stressed that, particularly my father, always pushed me into education and soccer together. And those two things have really changed my life and kept me on track. So I can't say enough about how important that was as I grew up here in Delaware.
Thank you very much. So, Robert nos lo ha contado, segunda generación aquí, y se pueden alcanzar los sueños, como él alcanzó sus sueños de ser arquitecto y de realmente estar marcando un gran impacto en este estado a través de su experiencia y a través de la creación que él ha hecho con este espacio de Mill. Para Hoy en Delaware, Virginia Esteban. Gracias.